What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Cyrus Obsidian here at Obsidian Games, here to bring you some more Yu-Gi-Oh content. So let us swing on in. So tonight is our Rage of the Abyss sneak peek alongside our normal locals. So today we are running it back again with Tier Limit. At this point we are just playing Tier rather than Tier Shaddoll with the deck, so we're just going to say Tier Limit. Honestly, I've liked the way the deck has played the last couple times. Sure, we went 2-2 both times, but we're hoping that some of the changes we make today, both to our extra deck, main deck, and our side deck, do come up in our rounds. We're hoping that we can play better around Dimensional Shifter and just the myriad of hand traps, which most of the time Tier doesn't really care for. It's really just Shifter and any graveyard hate. So without further ado, let me show you the deck profile that we are cooking with, and let's head on out to locals to see how we can do today. So some of these changes may look a little odd, but I do have my reasoning behind them. So we're just going to brush through the Tier package, which has not changed. We're playing the 3 Rhino, 1 Shirin, 1 Havnis, and then the 3 of Tier Cash, alongside playing 2 copies of King of the Swamp with the 1 Polymerization. Then we are still playing 3 copies of Primeval Planet Parallel Rhino, 3 copies of Tier Limit Scream. We were able to up our copies of Solak to 2, and then we are playing 1 Crime. I would like for this to be a meta noise, but I can't seem to find a meta noise in my bulk, so we're just playing Crime for a reason. So there is a reason as to why we have it, and it's an interesting reason that we are playing it, to say needlessly. The Cash Tier engine is still the same with the 2 copies of Raitsoth and the 3 copies of Fenrir, which are just really standard, really good. Just open this and you kind of can get combo going. Next for our Shaddoll, we are playing 1 Squamata, 1 Beast, 1 Hollow. I think these are really the names that we should be playing and should have been playing from the get-go. Wendy and Ariel were really nice, but it sucked milling Ariel early on in the game, and not having like my opponent's graveyard to remove stuff from was also not great. Having Wendy setting the Beast, I mean, it was okay doing that, because then we get a draw 2 for Beast and a discard, which procs off the Tier stuff, but it just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, so we're just sticking with those 3 names. We are still playing the 3 copies of Danger Nessie. Was thinking of upping this, or going Danger Nessie and a Jackalope, just so that way when Nessie does get hit, we get a free summon off the deck anyhow, but we decided to go against it, so that way we could still play what the rest of this deck has, which is 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Malicious did amazing last time, so we're sticking with it. And then we got the 2 Shufflers, Keldo and Medora. They put in some work against the matchups where like Bystials came in, and we just were able to play around it. And then we followed up with 2 copies of Vicious Samsara and 1 Trick Clown. So hear me out. I was thinking, and this deck can play Vicious Astrolabe. We just need a Vsauce name. That's where Vicious Samsara comes in. It's also a tuner, which can come up. That's the reason why we're also playing Trick Clown, it being light, and being able, when it hits the graveyard, you can bring it right back. Sure, at the cost of 1,000 life points, but for early games, this doesn't matter. This matters because of what I'll show you in the extra deck. Same thing goes with Mali. So we are playing 1 Mudragon in the Swamp still, 1 Winda, we dropped the Apkalon, we're playing 1 Dragostapelia, and then we are playing the Vicious Astrolabe, because Astrolabe going second is really nuts, being able to just pop either like my Tier Cash or one of my opponent's monsters, gain that attack, like half that attack boost, and so it's just a great clear. Still the 1 Rokalos, 1 Kaleido, 1 Guardian Chimera, which, oh boy, that put in some work in duels, and then the 1 Grapha. So I think this fusion lineup is pretty solid. Probably the only thing that I would like to change is probably getting back Garura, because we did take that out. We still do have Super Poly in the side, which not having Garura does suck, because Garura is just a great Super Poly target, but we're going to see how well we can play without it. And then if it is really necessary, we will put it back, since we are playing Super Poly. It probably is going to be, but in the matchups that I had on last locals, it really didn't matter. Mudragon was able to just carry for our Super Poly, so we were good in that regards. Next, we are playing the 1 copy of Chaos Angel. So Visa Samsara, being a light and a tuner, also is great because we're able to use this in Malicious, but we could also use the Trick Clown and Malicious since we're able to treat one of those as a tuner. So we're still able to get into Chaos Angel and utilize its full effects. So that's why we play the 2 Samsara with the 1 Trick. Samsara, if they're just both in the grave, we can just banish both copies for Astrolaud. We're not having to sacrifice our Rhino Heart, which if we do, Crime is able to get that Rhino Heart back into our hand, I believe, or if it's not hand, back into our deck at least. So we're able to keep our resources going. And for our Xyz line, we're still playing Toad, Time Thief, and Bahamut. Bahamut and Totally really came up a lot. We're hoping that we can maybe utilize Time Thief a little bit more later. Still the 1 Cross, the SP, and Boral Sword. So I really liked this as it was. The extra deck has changed up a lot since, or I mean, at least the Fusion and throwing in Chaos Angel. So I mean, those are the main changes that we did make. This was, honestly, this package I probably would not change. It's just really good. If anything, I would like to add another link, but we are totally fine without another link. Chaos Angel is going to be, we're going to see how well that plays tonight for the sneak peek. As well, as you also noticed, we got rid of the Schism, so we're really making window off of any of the tier names and just having the Shaddolls in the grave. So there's that. As for our side, we are playing 2 copies of Phantasme for when we go second. Every deck is pretty much link climbing if they're playing the Fiendsmith engine. So Phantasme will get us some draws, which will prove useful. We're still playing. We sided in the Dragon and the Aerial. I think having those in the side just for back row removal and as well graveyard removal will be really key. And then we are playing still the 1 Volcanic Scattershot for time if we ever need it. We do have the 3 copies of Super Poly. Those came up really good in our match with Voiceless Voice, so we're still playing it. Droplet we never did put in, but we're still going to keep it because Droplet is just really good at being able to help us clear board. 1 copy of Duster, and then 3 copies of Evenly Matched. I think these are really good. There is 1 card that I thought of, which was Maiden of Blue Tears, to maybe put in because we can use it. And then since like we mill a Scatter Shot while we're in like game 3 for time, right? That can help us set a normal trap, which really the only normal trap that we have is Evenly Matched. But that would be Meta Noise if we had a Meta Noise. But those are changes for the future that we might think of making. But for now, we're going to run with this list. I think it's solid, but locals will have to prove to see if we can just make a splash in today's Rage of the Abyss premiere. Alrighty, you guys, so I totally forgot there's a stipulation. If I was able to pick up the Mimigal stuff for our sneak peek, I would play that. Unfortunately, I didn't. So here we are playing tier with round 1 and 2 already passed. Round 1, we played against Whitewoods, and both our hands were not the most optimal hands. We tried playing our opponent's turn in game 2 because we forced him to go first just to see what kind of board he would set up, see if we can break it. But unfortunately, Mally was just glued to my hand. I have never had the problem of Mally being glued to my hand until tonight, which kind of blows. And then we saw like a lot of the Shaddolls, which we only played 3 Shaddall cards, and we saw them. So it's like, whatever. We also didn't mill grid in game 1, so that was kind of like what cost us a bit. Round 2, we play against Heroes. We go second against the Hero player. He set up his board. We were able to crack it. Wasn't a really good board either, but he had the Spirit of Neos to stall him out, but we were able to crack it on his turn, blow for game. Game 2, he went first again, and we both set and pass. My hand was not good. I was hoping that he would summon something. We could go into Guardian Chimera because we just have access into that, but he didn't do anything, so we passed it back to him, and we were just going to go break his board when it passed back to me, which we broke his board, and then he Spirit of Neos again. And then he was going to try and break my board, but we were a Chaos Angel, which made everything, my secret monsters unaffected, and then my monster's going to be destroyed in battle. We had a Kaleido Heart, we had a Solik, we had Shirian, Guardian Chimera, and ability to have Hovness, Scream, Planet. So I mean, we were prepped if we were able to get some good mills and just fusion summon. We had access to Graphos since we had Mudragon in the grave. We also had access to Rokalos. So we weren't worrying. We weren't worrying at all. He goes to set up his board. Yeah, we cracked it. and we were just Gucci. Took it on the crack. So he ended with DPE though, and he was about to go DPE, Trinity, and like something else with favorite hero to boost for attack. But with Chaos Angel, we weren't going to die, so we were all good there. So we're 1-1 right now with 3 rounds left in the sneak peek. We didn't pull any secrets. We just pulled all supers, which kind of blows, but it is what it is. We are slowly picking up Mimical stuff. We do have Throne. We do have armors. We have 2 slime, no fairy though, which we need fairy, and then we need the not the dungeon, the giant Mimigal. We still need 2 copies of that. So, in time. Crazy how rounds 3, 4 we went to time, and then round 5 we got swept very fast. So round 3 we played against Vsauce lore. That's what I'm going to call it. It was just pretty much a Vsauce, Mannadium, Scareclaw. Yeah, I think it was just those 2. It did have some tier stuff, but it was really just the planet, so you can get into Vsauce Starfrost. So pretty much Mannadium, essentially. Game 1, he just took it. He won the die roll, and he just won. Game 2, we were able to set up our board. He wasn't able to break through it. Game 3, we were starting to play on his turn. We were able to break his board, establish ours, and we were able to win in time. Whew. Round 4, we play against Voice's Voice. Game 1, he goes first. Unfortunately, we can't break his board. Game 2, we go first. We're able to establish our board. We're able to just continually go into Great Fusions, break apart his board, and we just take it. Game 3, he goes first, and again, we're playing on his turn. We're milling, we're hitting shufflers, we're doing everything. He de-barriers, and I'm like, okay. Do our link combo, we're able to like just play control, and to control the board we do, and we take the win. Round 5 and the last round, we play against Tenpai. And well, Charmid, he just, yeah, we played into it, didn't care, we were full send, and he just drew all the hand traps. Game 2, same thing. Well, we made him go first. He de-barriered, and it sucked because we had Sheeran, we had Rhino, we had it all to establish a good board, and yeah, we ended up doing the same thing that we did last game, Fenrir and IP pass, and yeah, we just broke it again. Tenpai, am I right? So, ending the night 3-2, not too bad, and I think we make top 8, so we get some pricing. Yay! Hopefully it's good. Keeping my fingers crossed here, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted.